We found another vegetarian restaurant in Hue that we ended up visiting twice. The first experience was notably better than the second, so here's that first visit.
Menu looks awesome. 90% of it can be veganized. Breakfast all day until 5 p.m. What are we getting? Can you believe they only brought it half full? I haven't even tried it yet.
How is it?
Delicious. Mushroom bao is here, yeah. Come on.
That looks phenomenal.
It does really look good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's definitely what you wanted. Pulled mushroom bun bao. Chewy mushrooms and tofu in a light gravy. Very tasty. The cheese is interesting. I think on its own, I might not find it to be the perfect vegan cheese, but in the context of this, with everything and adding some kind of saltiness to it, it does pick up very nice and gives you that gooey, stretchy vibe. So, great job, Mingle. Thanks.
I got a taste of Natalia's spinach mushroom sandwich too.
Quite good. The flavors are very subtle. If this was North America, it'd be like salty and oil laden. It's just nice. Amazing. Hue is definitely a vegan and vegetarian hotspot. All the vegetarian places can easily veganize the other stuff, so visit Hue. The rain has hopefully mostly stopped in Hue. We're on day 3, seeing some historical things like tombs, forts, and so on. Here we are on the Perfume River again, just like yesterday. We're about to be approached by a lovely tour guide offering person. No, thank you. Okay. No, thank you. Okay. But we are not dragon boat customers today. But let's look at one. Let's zoom in and see how pretty the water dragon boat is. There it is. We're being followed again by the same person. How will her pitch change? And in the distance you can see the flag of the likely Citadel, also known as a fort, a word I recently forgot. Hopefully the Alzheimer's that runs in my family has not skipped a generation.
Wait a second.
Okay, Natalia, in her infinite wisdom, has figured out, that sounded sarcastic, but it wasn't, has figured out, Natalia, in her infinite wisdom, has figured out that this is the wooden bridge, and she's right. It's a bridge, it is wood. We know this as a boardwalk. Folks here know it as the wooden bridge. And I realized Vietnamese language tends to name things very, very literally. So this makes sense. It's a wood bridge. I should have thought less abstractly. Hue is quite a lovely place. We're getting really, really aggressively greeted. Can we zoom in here? This has been happening already for about a minute solid. He's got incredible eyesight. He's got a big smile. Hi. All the dogs are so cute here. Look at his little back legs all splayed out. We've sat down at a hybrid omni-vegetarian restaurant called Vietnamese Restaurant 22. Aptly named because it's in house number 22 on the River Street. And we went to order morning glory, which is a delicious vegetable here in Vietnam that's kind of like a cross between asparagus and spinach. But the guy told me not to get it because he could see that I'm healing a tattoo touch-up and that it would hurt my tattoo. He was right. I looked it up and it can cause itchiness and irritation, and it's not advised in Vietnam for tattoo aftercare. So thanks very much for telling me about the morning glory. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just looked it up and he's right. Some tips that we got from our stay. You can save like 300,000 dong by buying a combined ticket that you use over 2 days. It's basically like getting one of the attractions for free.
The grounds of the Imperial City are protected by fortified walls in a 2x2 kilometer square and then ringed by a moat. The water in the moat is routed from the Hung River, also known as the Perfume River, through a series of hinged doors called sluice gates.
In we go. Most of the monuments we've been seeing so far take only cash, so heads up.
This enclosure within is the Citadel. Inside the Citadel is the Imperial City with a perimeter wall some 2.5 kilometers in length.
Look, I have something in my hand. Look, what is it? I have something. Why don't you come here and see what it is? Come here. I have something. It's called the Tai Hua Palace. But we'll get a good look inside anyway.
The walled city contains endless monuments, restored buildings, and artifacts mainly from the Qing dynasty, which crumbled in 1945.
Is it just me, or does his face look like he's going, It's just me? Okay. Wow. Amazing.
It is still undergoing some restoration and is a UNESCO heritage site, and rightly so. It is one of the most impressive sites like this in all of Asia.
This is a massive bronze cauldron.
In its prime, the Purple Forbidden City had many buildings and hundreds of rooms.
What a city this was. They don't seem to have a cold slab creamery though. All the stuff we're seeing is making me just so overwhelmed, you know? I keep seeing stuff and saying, wow, no way.
Once vacated, it suffered from neglect, termite ravages, and weather events, including a number of cyclones. Most destructive, though, were war crises, as evidenced by many bullet holes still visible from the military conflicts and subsequent invasions. Major losses began in 1947 when the Viet Minh seized the Citadel. The French occupiers led counterattack operations that resulted in a 6-week battle, which destroyed many of the major structures.
Can't wait to see it all restored. Maybe we'll come back in a few years again.
The core of the city, including the Imperial Palace, was burned.
I can hear them.
The Citadel came under fire again in the early morning of January 31st, 1968. As part of the Tet Offensive, a division-sized force of the People's Army of Vietnam and Viet Cong soldiers launched a coordinated attack on Hue.
The Royal
What?
Infinity Pool.
What's that?
The Royal Infinity Pool.
Oh, she's right, yeah. That's got to be expensive in the day.
During the early part of the Battle of Hue, United States Marines troops were ordered not to bomb or shell the city due to Hue's religious and cultural status. However, as casualties increased, these positions against destruction were weakened and the Imperial City took massive damage.
They all say vegan on them.
Out of 160 buildings, only 10 major sites remain after the battle.
Natalia, wave. She's still waving. She's waving everything. Oh my God, wow. Hyper zoom.
The mimosa plant, also known as the touch-me-not, has a unique stress response. When it is touched, the leaves rapidly fold inward and droop. This is called thigmonasty. When a stimulus is applied, potassium is released within the leaf, causing it a loss of turgor pressure. This closes the leaves. The plant's rapid response to touch is thought to be a defense mechanism to startle browsing herbivores. But how does it recover? Simple. The leaves reopen after several minutes.
Natalia and I don't have children. This palace is so intricate.
There are tons of things to see here. A massive audio tour one can take as they embark on touring the grounds, and dizzying arrays of gardens, artifacts, religious shrines, display of former dynasty wealth around the times of French occupation, and a great deal of historical overlap with other invasions and human conflicts. The buildings that are already restored are to a level of meticulous detail that is incredibly impressive. It's easy to spend the better part of a day here even without an audio guide or a tour leader. Have good shoes and lots of energy for walking. But there are some vehicles you can use to help you on the way out. There are also a swarm of rickshaw drivers outside the walls of the city who can take you inside the first set of the walls, but despite what they say, they cannot take you inside the gates.
There's really so much to see here. We've been walking for about 2 hours, maybe close to 3, and we're really probably only like a third of the way through.
Admission is 200,000 Vietnamese dong, which is about $11 Canadian. It can be bundled with 3 or 4 other attractions for additional savings. If you're buying a combined ticket, be sure to purchase it at the first participating attraction you visit, or you'll miss out.
Oh, is it Bollywood? Is she doing Bollywood? Oh, there's probably 2 of her. Oh, oh wow, she's very, very good at acting. Wow, no problem. Well, we're getting some rain.
Steeped in imperial tradition, human conflict,
It's dry season here in Hue.
and imbued with the signature independent spirit that reverberates through Vietnamese people and culture today.
It's like 30 degrees outside. So it's kind
It is undeniably
Yeah, it is. It's
significant
not
to the
bad.
people
It's
of
not cold.
Vietnam, and especially Hue, but for
definitely
many
wet.
differing reasons,
summer in Toronto.
which is reflected in the layered lessons and historical happenings here.
Well, a lovely day. Thoughts?
Was pretty good.
Sweet, okay, sweet. You heard it there first, folks. It was
Pretty good.
nice. And when you know that Paul gives something a
Pretty good.
rating, that it's gonna be
Yeah.
pretty good.
To even begin to understand it, one must visit. For Vegan Everywhere, I'm David.